We do have another community spotlight segment for you today. We're joined by Michael Remole from Gateway Family Services of Illinois here to talk about Christmas in the Barn, and he's all dressed up for a theme, regarding the Christmas in a Barn. Michael, thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
So you're all, dressed up. Talk to me, talk to the audience, talk to the people why we're dressed up today.
Yeah, so Christmas in the Barn is our annual fundraiser for Gateway Family Services and Hooves of Hope. And this started several years ago, and one of the things that we said was we want this to be a unique experience. And so all of our volunteers will be dressed in Charles Dickens attire. And so we want it to be a magical, almost like you stepped into a storybook and experienced a Christmas event. So you can come in, hang out. We have over 60 decorated Christmas trees, over 1 million Christmas lights to take a look at. And then horses are a vital part of both of our nonprofits. And so you get a chance to meet the horses, hear the stories of how they're changing lives, and support the cause. So we have a silent auction, and this year we've added a Jolly Trolley. Our guests will be able to arrive in style, stay warm, because I saw the forecast, it's gonna be a little chilly, and stay warm, and they'll be able to travel to the barn and then up to our clinic where we have Santa, and they'll be able to grab a picture with Santa.
Okay, that's gonna be really awesome. When it comes to these holiday festivities, what's something in years past that's worked? And what's, maybe down the pipeline, excitements for next year or excitements for this upcoming event? Yeah,
so we, every year we try to think outside the box. And so we want to make sure that we highlight the horses, because this is a fundraiser to take care of them. And so making sure that we have time in the barn, people get a chance to meet the horses and hear the stories, that's something that we want to make sure that we continue to do year after year.
I know that 3 minutes is never enough time, but is there a chance you give us a snapshot of some of these cool stories, these impactful
Yeah,
chapters?
So, relationships are part of healing, and so Gateway Family Services is a mental health agency. We had a young kiddo who came to us and had a really difficult time connecting with his adopted dad. And when he arrived to session, he picked one of our horses, Willow, and he said, I want to ride her. Well, she's one of our biggest horses, and he's only 5 years old. And he was brushing her and got to a certain point of brushing where he couldn't reach any higher. And I looked at the dad and I said, could you help? Could you pick him up? And this kiddo let his dad pick him up, and they started brushing together, and he would look at his dad and smile, and they just had this beautiful moment of connection. And it was amazing to watch that. Well, later on that night, the dad texted me and said for the first time in 3 years, his son had asked him to cuddle with him on the couch. A few weeks later, the kid was at the grocery store and just reached out and grabbed his dad's hand. Never done that before. And it was through that connection, that relationship with the horse, that this was starting to happen. A few weeks later, the kid is going to get up the mounting block to get on the horse, and he normally just jumps right on, and he stopped that day, and you could tell something was going on. I said, buddy, what's going on? And he said, I'm scared. And I was like, we're talking through what he could do to stay safe, and I was thinking his helmet and saddle pads and stuff like that, and he looked and he said, I have my dad.
That's pretty awesome.
It gets me every time. That relationship has continued to grow because of his work with Willow, and that's deepened his relationships with his family, and it's been incredible. And we get to see things like that happen on a regular basis.
Wow, Michael, thanks so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. Don't forget, guys, December 3rd and 6th, when you can all appreciate and help out as well. You can learn more about this event, including others in our communities. Just head on over to our website, WCIA.com, and then /community.